Kevin Gordon here from Autosavant.com on the 26th of June, coming to you from the 2012 Mercedes-Benz ML63. Supposed to be riding right into the week. And I have to be honest with you, I'm probably going to have a dumb grin on my face for most of that week. We'll talk more about the car in the next couple days, but I wanted to start out, considering the fact that I'm in something that sort of goes against everything in some ways, green and liberal, by talking about those leftist pinkos at NPR. And of course, I say that with much love. I actually like NPR. But let's face it, they can be a little biased sometimes. Anyway, so NPR reported on a report by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration that I'm now reporting on. And that sentence ended in a preposition. Anyway, what the report about was, of course, the National Traffic Highway Safety Administration is concerned about highway safety. And, you know, driving's dangerous. 12,000 people, or give or take a few a year, die in automobile accidents. Well, the NHTSA, of course, came to the conclusion that speeding, you know, driving above the speed limit is the cause of that. Let me tell you, it's not. It's cell phones. Anyway, so they started doing sort of tests to figure out what they could do to keep people driving at, you know, the speed limit, you know, less than 5 miles an hour over the speed limit at least. And, you know, people do all types of things, you know, seeing cops, okay, sorry. I'll stop being a child now. Seeing cops slows people down. So then they went and put up those solar-powered radar displays where it shows you your speed, making you think that if you see how fast you're going, it'll make you realize you're above the speed limit, slow down. That really didn't work. They actually went so far as to have cops follow people, which seemed to work quite well. Well, then what they did was they gave people a $25 allotment a week and took away cents, like 3 cents, every time you drove 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, and more every time that you drove 9 miles an hour over the speed limit. And they called 9 miles an hour over the speed limit, I believe, egregious, which I thought was a little entertaining. Anyway, what they found was this works really, really well. You know, people that were part of the survey actually said they made a game out of it and were interested in trying to keep all $25. And part of the reason it works so well is the system actually gave you feedback every time you got out of the car. So every time you got out of the car, it would tell you you've lost 27 cents, or in my case, all $25 every time I drive. So go figure, what they proved was a carrot really is more effective than a stick in keeping people from speeding. Next up for today, and you'll notice this is not our normal commute. I had some shelving issues at home and as a result worked out of the house today. The current Jeep Grand Cherokee, which to my mind hasn't really been on the market all that long, is sort of being rushed to be refreshed for the 2014 model year. Well, as a result, the 2013 model year is going to be abbreviated. And, you know, by abbreviated, what I mean is the 2013s are going to start their production run in August of this year. Then the 2014 is supposed to be introduced at the 2013 Detroit International Auto Show and be put for sale actually reasonably soon after that. So, you know, if you buy a 2013 in 2012, you'll be able to buy a 2014 if you just wait a little bit into 2013. Clear as mud, right? Well, what's the big rush? there's two big updates coming for the Grand Cherokee. One is the diesel engine that's available in Europe right now. They seem to be really pushing to get that into the States and on the market. And also is the ZF 8-speed transmission that's becoming so popular across the Chrysler line. So take a look for that. Stay tuned for the North American International Auto Show next January. And I wouldn't at this point find that surprising at all when that thing actually launches. Number 3 today is something that it hit really at the end of the day yesterday. The news popped out, and I was sort of annoyed that the afternoon commute got filmed already, because I would have loved to talk about it. But when it happened, I instantly tweeted to Mazda USA to say, if you build this thing in the States, I will give you my deposit today. And I still say that. Mazda of the USA, if you bring the MX-5 Miata GT, as it is in the concept form with a few minor changes, to the United States, I will personally give you a check out of my checking account for deposit one today. As soon as you can promise me you'll sell you one, I'm not kidding, I will buy one. And let me tell you, the reason why that's a little bit more bravado than you might expect is the fact that my wife would not in any way, shape, or form want a Miata in the driveway. We had one in our driveway for a while, and she found it a constant source of embarrassment. So Mazda, I'm telling you, I'll put my money where my mouth is. If you bring the MX-5 Miata GT to the States, put it for sale, as it was in the Goodwood Festival preview, I will buy one. Okay, so what is the MX-5 Miata GT Concept? It is a sort of lightened out, with, in all honesty, a little bit too much carbon fiber nonsense version of the Miata with a 205 horsepower, 2-liter naturally aspirated engine. So it's up quite a few from, I think, the 167 that the normal Miata makes, and it's got a whole bunch of other good bits, lightweight wheels, sticky tires, all that stuff. Here's what I want. I want a Miata with a 6-speed and a soft top with as light as humanly possible. So whatever you can do to make that car light without making it enormously expensive, that's what I want, and that's one I promise I would buy if it goes for sale. And finally for today, as we expected yesterday, Ford released a limited trim edition version of the F-150. And also, as expected, it has 22-inch wheels. What wasn't so expected, and I'm pretty happy about in all honesty, is the fact that it will be EcoBoost engine only. So if you want one, you can get it with you can get it with an EcoBoost and only an EcoBoost, which I think is a good thing. We have one in the long-term test F-150 and really have come to like it over the year or so we've owned it, and think it's a solid, valuable engine in the lineup. Other updates are special colors, special leather. Really, it doesn't have a ton more than the Platinum Edition does. I think the biggest change I saw from an options perspective is heated rear seats. Also, Ford announced an upgrade or update to the Raptor, and that's going to come as one of 3 things. One, you can get it in tan, terrain color, which is tan. You can also now get HID headlights, high intensity discharge headlights on the Raptor. And the most interesting one is it's going to come with what they're calling beadlock capable rims. So what they are is, from the factory, it comes with normal rims. They're mounted to the inside of the rim wall, they're held there by air pressure. Well, you can buy a kit from Ford. I don't know how much that's going to cost yet, and pricing for these haven't been released yet, that allows you to air down the tire, pull it off of the inside of the rim, put it on the outside of the rim, and then attach the beadlock to it just the way you would with a normal beadlock tire. They're, of course, saying that the beadlock version of it is for off-road use only, but that's a pretty interesting and valuable upgrade for Raptor, and especially the, unfortunately few who actually bother to drive them off-road. So there's and apologies for it being a reasonably long-winded afternoon commute today. I will be giving you more impressions of the Mercedes-Benz ML63 AMG as we go out throughout the week, as well as a bunch of content. We've got plans for this thing as we go through the week. I'm Kevin Gordon, as usual, from Autosavant.com, and I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow.